Well, my name is Sherrie Busby, and I have the great pleasure of being your hostess with the mostest for our call tonight, right? So we're on the Go to Training platform. We have some really informational things to say to you guys. I do want to tell you a little bit of a disclaimer, is that anything that we say here, this is our own opinion. So it's really, this is all me, people, I'm just saying, right? It does not necessarily express the opinions or the feelings of the ADAA, right? So is that a good enough disclaimer, guys? Is that good to go? All right. So I am your hostess with the mostest, like I said, Sherrie Busby. I am the secretary of the Dental Assistant Association for Illinois. And I have the great pleasure of having some guests on here. So let's just start right on here on the end with Miss Cathy and say, hey, tell us who you are, where are you from, what you do.
Hey, I'm Cathy, and I'm a little bit about myself. I've been a dental hygienist for about, I'm a retired dental hygienist since 2000, year 2000, and have been fortunate enough to begin a company called dentalworkers.com that's been in existence for 20 years and helping people across the nation find jobs and employers find great workers in the dental field.
Oh, that's awesome. We are so happy that you joined us too, right? So we really need Cathy to help us get jobs and stay happy. And she's going to teach us some ideas about resumes and how to sell yourself when you go into the office. So Sarah, tell us about your son.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Stream. I am the ADAA 8th District Trustee. So I am trustee for Iowa, Nebraska, Missouri, and Kansas. I am currently have been a dental assistant since 2007, and I've held every position possible in the dental field, including being a lab tech and into sales. So I've got a little bit of expertise on everything in the dental office. And tonight I'll be talking a little bit about membership in the ADAA.
That's awesome, thank you. I'm with Sarah. I've got enough knowledge to be dangerous, right? All right, well, let me tell you, the person who has the most numbers and letters behind her name is our friend Natalie. So Natalie, tell us about yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Natalie Kaweckyj from Minneapolis, Minnesota. 28 years in dental assisting. I currently work clinically in public health and have pretty much done it all. Serving as immediate past president once again and loving every minute of it. I will be talking about career burnout.
Oh, yeah. Somebody who's got 28 years behind them probably knows a little bit about that subject, wouldn't you think? I'm serious. So, okay, thanks for joining us. And Tanya, tell us about yourself, who you are, where you are, and what you do.
Hi, my name is Tanaya Santiago, and I've spent 23 years in dental assisting off and on. I'm currently on the legislative committee and on the membership council, and I'm here to talk about legislative efforts. Hi.
All right, well, I'm so glad that you guys are here, and thanks for joining us and taking your time this evening and joining in on our fun little dance party to get us all started here, right? So that's pretty awesome. All right, so Tanaya is our legislation thing, so I'm going to let you take it away. And as we go through the process, as she is giving you guys some updates and everything, please feel free to put some questions in the chat. I'm watching those, and I've got our buddy behind the scenes over there helping us is Jay, and they are helping us with all your questions and answers and our questions too, and we're going to get everything answered that we can, okay? All right, you guys chat away. Tanaya, take us away.
Okay, so I'm here to speak about the legislative efforts from past, present until like now and further and beyond. The ADAA Legislative Committee is a primary advocate for our dental assistants in the U.S., mostly and all over the world. The Legislative Committee uses data collection to inform our dental assistants of critical public policy issues and put our members and non-members in contact with their legislators and regulatory agencies. The Legislative Committee, in keeping with ADA's mission, is to advance the careers of dental assistants and advocate for dental assistants profession in matters of education, professionalism, activities, credentialing, and legislation. To promote the association's ideas and growth, which aids in the accessibility and delivery of quality oral health care to the public. So the Legislative Committee's objective, next slide, in keeping with ADAA's mission, a statement went out in April of 2020 to address and acknowledge the lack of education, training, and universal minimum standards in infection control for dental assistants. Reviewing data going back 30 years to HIV/AIDS and to our current crisis, the pandemic, and in viewing OSHA and CDC recommendations from then until now, along with the coronavirus updates. Surveying the needs of our internal customers, our dentists, owners, students, and fellow employees, because I work in an academic environment, so I work with dental students, and they are also my customers. Surveying the needs of our external customers, which are our patients, labs, suppliers, etc. We as the Legislative Committee had to develop a plan. So we developed a PDSA model for infection control because of the fact that we don't have a national standard. So in planning, we organize and we looked at the best approach, identifying possible solutions, and develop a plan of action. This includes you, our members and non-members, because we want you safe. So there is data collection to measure existing infection control, the continuing ed, our CE, which we collaborated with Natalie and her team, and other educational programs, such as DMB and, other entities, and the organizations like OSHA and from around the country. What are we doing? So we link program goals with strategic goals and develop an infection control certification program and provide procedures to reduce and control risk, as well as support training, which we want our dental assistants safe, and we want standards across the board, clear and concise. We run a lot of studies, and we look up past studies, and we try to study the appropriate infection control practices, such as DMB and other entities. What has changed? We evaluate what has changed, what is still in place, looking at our course with our internal course, and teaming up with the education team, which they run their team very well. We look at, like I said, our own internal education program, and we use data to analyze the results. So collecting all this data, we have to know, like, what are we going to do? And this is the call to action that we develop. And the call to action is to go to all the dignitaries and legislators so we can, basically work with the dentists, Washington, and all the policy and legislative branches. We have a reporting system to identify and follow through on adverse events or incidents, such as any dental personnel getting infected with virus, and it goes beyond not just COVID, hepatitis or anything other than. Empowering oral healthcare staff to know what to do and how to do it well, and breaking the chain of infection. So we want to break that chain of infection, just one link. Documentation of all processes. So we try to go back and look at what everyone else is doing, and we try to implement. This means that we promote, support, quality assurance, safety, and ensure that dental services are effective. Design, implement, and evaluate activities for process improvement by developing data collection and measure procedures. Providing education, to all levels of staff, coordinate activities as it relates to licensure, accreditation, establish standards and regulatory requirements. We realize that dental assistants are going above and beyond and are being asked to do so by also dentists, who are now asking our dental assistants to become more educated in infection control and writing policies and procedures, which you'll see going forward in a lot of the job requirements. The legislative committee is an agent of change, which within our organization. So we work with our partners, our ADA, our teams, the education department, and we all know what each other are doing. And we want to stay transparent to you, our members and non-members, to let you know that we are working very diligently for you and advocating for you. So my last slide includes our call to action for mandatory educational standards and infection control. And I would like for you, our members, our colleagues, to take a look at and read and send out to your dignitaries the call to action so we can have standardization and protection for all our staff, employees, dental assistants, and beyond. Our dental assistants and personnel are afraid to go to work and feel that information during this time is confusing, and we work for you. So we try to get information out there to you as soon as possible. We try to expedite it, and we also realize your concerns. We are concerned also, and we are in constant meetings and working and planning and trying to develop a plan of action and to keep our dental assistants working, keep our dental assistants safe, keep our patients safe, and our dental personnel, whether it's the dentist, the office manager, and beyond. I thank you so much, and I will turn it over.
Well, thank you. I appreciate all that information. And you guys, I've been chatting away in there. So if you haven't opened up your chat feature in your dashboard, go ahead and open that up and let's hear from you. This is a great way that we have to help other dental assistants be educated, because it's so crazy. We teach each other as we go through, right? So we're teaching each other, and sometimes we're not teaching each other the right way. God bless us. So we're trying and we're doing our best. But I think that this is a time that we can really help other dental assistants, especially for infection control, right? This is like the hottest topic on the planet right now is infection control. So I think this is a way to help all of us. And what it can do for our dental assistants is to give them more confidence in what they're doing every day and help them to feel more valued. And will it make more money? Probably not, but it'll make them more valuable, right? And it really, I just said probably not, but it really could be. It could add value to the role on a monetary value, on a monetary way too. So, but more importantly, it keeps us safe, and it helps our dental assistants to be able to go through that. So you guys, you can, Jay has put the links into the chat. So please copy those links, but don't leave us. So stay right here. And then copy the links, put them on your browser, or put them on a Word document or something so you have them. And then as soon as we're done, go over there and fill out those forms and help us be the voice. Because there's I think, Natalie, you told me one time there's 330,000 dental assistants in this country, right? And so we need to be the voice for everybody. And you guys are the ones who can give us that power, because there's more power in us, right? There's more power to do that. Okay, thanks. As I don't see anything coming in the chat, so you guys have any questions or?
Maybe the question in the question box from Rhonda. Thank you, Rhonda. It says, are you looking to push for a national standard? If our state already has infection control requirements, how can a member push for a national standard?
This is why we have the call to action letters. And actually, to date, no, we do not have a national standard. We are working forward towards that. If you follow a lot of what's going on, this was even before the pandemic. The pandemic created a good representation and push. And the reason why I say that is that a lot of the dignitaries that we're electing in office are focusing on healthcare. And what does universal healthcare mean for dentistry? What does it mean for people that are becoming employed? So this is something that's very prudent and important to have standards, because if we going towards a universal system, if we become a universal healthcare system, what happens to dentistry. And why not do it now on our terms instead of waiting for the law to require that you become certified? If the law pushes this and become an issue for dental assistants that currently are not basically universal standard trained in infection control. You can actually right now go into a dental office trained by the dentist and not have any certification. And that's what we kind of don't want, especially in a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay, I was typing away there. I'm so sorry. Typing away. All right, well, that's awesome. That's awesome news, and I thank you, Tanya, for that breakdown. Golly geez, so slide up that thing so I can see who's next, because I don't remember. But if you guys, you have any other questions, please come on and think about that, okay? Think about those questions and put them in. And you know we're always going to be there to answer your questions. Okay, so one of the ways that we can help create legislation and to help infection control training be, if not mandated, then very strongly suggested, I guess would be a great way, right? Is through a partnership of all of us banding together. So our buddy Sarah is going to talk to us about what are some of the values of being a member of the American Dental Assistants Association. So Sarah, take us away, girl.
Thank you, ma'am. So I have been a member of the ADAA since 2013, and you know, there are member benefits that you get when you pay your dues, but there are also other benefits to being an ADAA member. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about, you know, becoming a part of something bigger than your local dental assistant community. You know, as Tanaya said, we're trying to work on some pretty big stuff here, and you know, pushing for infection control standards, and even minimum credentials for dental assistants. But we need to stand together to do that. You can't fight for that as a single dental assistant. You need to have a large group, and becoming a member is a really good way to support that. So the ADAA is a tripartite membership, and what that means is that when you become a member on the national level, you're also automatically a member on your state and your local level, depending on where you live. So your dues cover national, state, and local, so you can be as involved as you want to be in that. If you just want to get together with your local dental assistants, that's awesome. If you want to get involved in the state level, that's even better. And if you want to jump up to the national level, like what we're doing now, you know, we would love to have you guys. Anybody, any help that we can get on the national level is fantastic, and any support that we can get. And I don't know if you guys know this, but what we do as members on the national level is completely volunteer. We put out our own time. We're doing this for the betterment of dental assistants everywhere. So if that's something that sounds like it would be something you're interested in helping further dental assisting like that, becoming a member is the first way to do that. Another benefit of membership is education. The ADAA offers over 100 different courses, free online courses as a member for continuing education. You get CE credits for that. And not only your CE credits, but you also get an education of, you know, how things work on a local, state, and national level. Networking is huge in being a member. I have friends, including these lovely ladies that are here tonight, from all over the country that I never would have known had I not become a member and started to become active. So, you know, networking is really big when it comes to not only your career, but even your personal life. I have really good personal friends that I met through the ADAA. And when I get to see them once a year, it's like a mini vacation, and it's awesome. And that goes into the next bullet there, number 4, is support. When you're a member, you have an awesome support network from people. If you've been on our ADAA Facebook group, I think we're up to, over 20,000 members on our Facebook group. And a very small fraction of those people are members, but we have that awesome support network. And when you're a member, you get even more support. You can talk to people on your local, state, and national level. You can have your voice be heard as a part of the dental assisting community. So, you know, membership is super awesome, and it's really important to stand together as dental assistants to be able to make those changes as a group. Your membership dues, if you do decide to become a member, for national dues, it's $125 a year, and then your state has dues as well. And every state is a little bit different. So, you know, you would just have to kind of get on and see what your state would cost. If you do want to become a member, you can go to ADAAUSA.org, and there's a big banner on their homepage that says join or renew today. Can you scroll to the next slide, please? Awesome, thank you. So when you do become a member, there are tons of member benefits, which I kind of talked about a little bit before. We have over 100 free online CEs. So depending on the CEs that you take, you could get, I think I took a radiography one that was worth like 10 hours, which is awesome. That'll get your radiography requirements done in like a day. You get professional liability insurance, which is super important. If you don't have professional liability insurance, you need to have some sort of that, because I don't care how great your doctor is, if something happens, you need to protect yourself. Okay, they can say that you're covered under their insurance and all of that, but you never know what's going to happen when stuff gets real. So having that professional liability insurance is a member benefit. It's included in your membership dues. There are job search, resume building tools that Cathy's going to talk to us here in a little bit about. You can be as involved as you want to, and you know, you could even write articles. You could become a published author if that's something that you want to have done in your lifetime. You get free subscriptions to some of our publications. There's a legislative tracking tool. There's a whole bunch of member benefits. So, you know, this is the full list that's on the presentation right now. It's also on the website, adaausa.org. You can get on there. And, you know, we really, really want to have all of the dental assistants that we can backing us with everything that we're trying to get accomplished. And it makes it so much easier to make big waves when we have a lot of people standing behind us. Let's see, go to the next slide, please. So for today, we're doing a special new member promotion for anybody that is not currently a member. So there is a link on this slide, adaausa.org/membership/promotions. If you go to that link and print off that application, you can get $25 off of your national dues. Now, this is only available to new members, so you can't have been an active ADAA member in the last 3 years. And it's only available to you through this Sunday night at 11:30 p.m. So get on there. If you want to become a member, this is your opportunity to get that promotion. And we hope that you guys want to take steps to help us with everything that's going on in the dental assisting community.
That's awesome. Thanks, Sarah. I can tell you guys, I'm with Sarah, like this group of individuals that you get to meet is unlike any other. And you know, when this happens to all of us, you're at a party or you're in line at Walmart, for God's sakes, and you run into a patient that you've seen and they're like, hey, I don't figure out this, right? It's like people who do teeth, we just love each other. You can spot another dental person at 50 paces. I mean, you know, I did staffing for a little while, and they always told me, so how can we find each other? I'm like, baby, we just know. It's like magnets, right? And so being able to be in a part of the association, and you speak to people, you talk to people who have the same thing that you do. They understand what you're going through because we're all going through it together, right? We're all suffering through all the extra PPE, and oh my God, don't you just love your N95s right now? I'm just saying, right? So we're all going through this whole thing together. And when you get with somebody who does exactly the same thing that you do, it's a bond. I don't know. I don't even really know how to describe that, but it's just a bond that you can get. And being a member is one of the greatest things that's happened to me personally. And getting with the people in my community and my state, and talking to them and meeting to them, it's just really great. So I just want to tell you, obviously you can tell I'm very passionate about that membership. So it's really, really good. So you guys come on, join us. We the more the merrier, right? Okay. Right? Oh, good job. So, all right. Well, Cathy introduced herself first, but she is our special guest star that she's going to talk to us about like, you know, now there's a lot of jobs out there. I mean, my company has got job openings for dental assistants all over the country. So we are looking for a great dental assistant. And so I think that Cathy is going to help us, one, know how to spruce up your resumes, and really, maybe you want to interview the office when you go in, not just them interview you. So our friend Cathy is going to give us some really great tips on that, okay? Take us away, Cathy.
Thank you, Sherrie. Hey, thank you so much for having me tonight. I am so proud to be here and to be part of this group. I'm more proud to say that the American Dental Assistants Association chose dentalworkers.com to be its exclusive job board for members. And I'm here to talk with you tonight about the market, where it is, from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, exactly where dental assisting is going now and into the future, which is very promising. And all of you are in such a great position who is a dental assistant right now in the market field to really find great jobs and to be in demand throughout 2028. We also, I want to bring some other great news to you, is that everyone asks, like, oh, what's the median pay? How much should I be paid as a dental assistant? Well, this information is fingertipped and touched on the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics that I'm bringing you today. And basically the median, dental assistants right now are making a point above the median pay of compared to other careers out there. Now, how do you get there? Where are you now within the dental assistant role compared to where you want to be? And with the market actually being higher than normal compared to other careers and you being in demand, you have some real stability here for you to be able to make that job into a career, a lifelong career. And the way to do that is actually by, joining your organization, being strong together. That's how the ADA does it. They have all the dentists joining their organization early on, and they all stand together where they're very powerful in being able to put legislation together. Well, the dental assisting group can do the same thing. And through education and knowledge, you can actually go out and be able to purport yourself as a career-centered individual, bringing value to your office and being able to also interview the office a little bit to make sure that they're in line with what you want as a career dental assistant as well. Now, to give you a little bit of great news for the future, from 2018 to 2028, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics did an outlook, a career outlook for the dental assistant group. And it it looks like there will be an employment increase of by 38,700 dental assistants in need, which is actually a higher percentage than other careers and other, that is, in that factor. So you'll see here that the number of jobs in 2018 is 346,000. It goes up to 11% higher and much faster than the average, which is amazing. And so I really want you to take a look at that and see that you are in a very good position, and that you should really look at joining your organization, getting additional education, which is my next point, where you can actually get the pay that you want within your career status and working for that great dentist that you want to go out and look for working for, which would be on a really terrific job board that would actually come together, bringing employers, high standard employers within the dental field to high standardized, dental assistants who are looking for work within the dental field. So this is the time through these challenging times to actually prepare, and for you to be able to look at your career, to be able to look at your goals that you want to ascertain, and then be able to update your resume and your education in order to beef up that resume, for you to be able to go out and be able to ask for exactly what you need and what you want within your career and within your personal life. And that's about executing actions. So it's not just about thinking about it, it's actually going through the process and making your goals and executing that action for where you want to go. Now, your resume is actually the first impression for any employer. So you want to be able to open doors. You want open doors, and you want to be able to have that discussion and conversation with the person that might be employing you. So when you actually put your best foot out there, it is through your resume. And how do you stand out, especially with unemployment so high right now? You want to stand out compared to the next dental assistant, and be able to really communicate to that doctor that that doctor should call you for that interview. Now, how do you do that? Dentists look for loyalty. They want loyalty, and with loyalty comes with a person who actually wants to purport themselves on their resume that they are going to be loyal and add value to their office. So you would do that easily by being able to join your organization, and on Dental Workers, you can actually upload and automatically with your membership the logo of the ADAA. So you can actually stand out over and above another dental assistant who may not be a career-oriented dental assistant. So if I can have the next slide, I can show you how that looks on your resume. You see how the American Dental Assistants Association logo is on top of that resume? Well, only members can do that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to email that resume directly to employers all over within the geographic area that you want to work in, who are looking to hire, and we match them, and then we actually deliver them this information so that they can contact you for an interview. And there's some things that I would like to point out on this career objective. Please be careful to only really write what you can do for your employer. I see so many resumes that actually indicate, I only want Thursdays, and I want this, and I want that, and this is what I need, and it's just me, 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 me. Well, that's the first thing that all the employers are looking at, that gets thrown in a pile over here. I promise you. If you actually walk in your employer's shoes, they're actually paying you to do a great job. Please, please, please write in your career objective exactly what you can do for your employer, not so much what your employer can do for you. I think that's a really important, valuable asset to add onto the resume, which is going to be your first impression. And with that, I just wanted to thank you so much again for having me here tonight and turn it back over to Sherrie.
Here I'm talking away and I'm muted, but I thank you, because I think that many of us may have been very surprised when you said, look, you'll send out our resume for us. How cool is that, right? That is very cool to be able to do that. And you're right, your resume is your calling card. That's the first thing that they're going to see before they even see you. So it does have to be good. And no, I don't think it has to go on scented paper or anything like that, right? No lavender paper or anything. That's awesome. All right, so those are really great tips. I really appreciate that, and I hope you guys got something that you can use. Or if not, if you're not looking for a job, maybe you know somebody who is, because obviously we are a fast-growing profession, right? That's so cool. All right, so our last panelist we have today is Miss Natalie, and 28 years of experience is going to get you how to get past that burnout. And I know that this poor woman was like in the ER at 6:30 the other morning, and she was tired as all get out. But look, here she is smiling and ready to talk to us. So, okay, Natalie, tell me what I can do to see so I'm not so tired every day.
All right. Well, I'm sure that all of us, if we think long and hard about it, have faced career burnout at some point. What we are finding on social media is some of the younger dental assistants are experiencing it a lot sooner than some of us that have been in for it for a couple decades. So I'm just going to talk about some of the bullet points, just a little bit about what career burnout exactly is. It sometimes is interchanged with employee burnout, and the cases have actually increased to the point where the World Health Organization has officially recognized it as an occupational wonder, meaning it is happening with lots of frequency. So what do you think's changed in the last 15, 20 years? You think it has anything to do with cell phones?
Yeah.
Being plugged in all the time? Yeah.
Right.
The World Health Organization included in the 11th revision of the International Classification of Diseases, career or employee burnout. So it is an actual classification of a disorder. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what the signs and symptoms are. A little bit about statistics, because I hate statistics, but some people love it. The Gallup poll had interviewed 7,500 full-time employees from various walks of life. So they're not all engineers, not all educators, not all college students. 23%, or approximately 1,725 of these individuals, felt burnt out more often than not. So more than just one day a week. Some of us have those weeks. 44%, which is approximately 3,300 of these individuals, felt burnt out at some of the time. And depending on what's going on at your office at the time, some of us may feel like we are in it all the time. So especially during these chaotic times with the pandemic, things are just not normal. So what are some of the causes about career burnout or employee burnout? Think about it. What do you think is triggering these individuals to absolutely hate their jobs? How about bullying? Bullying in the workplace is on the rise. Bullying all over in society is on the rise. Anytime you tune into local or world news, some city is in the news with the different types of rioting and things going on. So discrimination in the workplace too. Most workplaces have 4, if not 5, different generations working. If I think about the place where I work, we have a large staff of about, we're up to, I think, 93 employees statewide. And we actually cover all 5 generations, like the boomers, Generation Xers, and so on. So, and our youngest employee is 18 years old, so they fall into that new category. Workplace toxicity. You know, the old adage that says, you know, keep your friends close, but your enemies even closer, often comes into play in the workplace. And workplace toxicity, 9 times out of 10, leads individuals to second guess their jobs or their career choice, when what they could do is perhaps look for another dental home, a great place to work. Some individuals like to spend just a couple years in each location and then go on to a new work environment, and others make a career out of it. Personally, this is my 3rd location. I've been in public health now I just celebrated 13 years on July 2nd, working for a nonprofit, and yay! And prior to that, I was in private practice for 12 years, and then I taught for 2 years with some overlap of all 3 for a period of time. So not like some of those that come right out of school and they're already on their 5th or 6th job. So for them, they're just viewing it as a job and not as a career. So what about some commonalities? Dentistry is no different than engineering or nursing. Nursing and medicine in general are experiencing burnout right now. And I mean, who can blame them? What they're facing in the front lines, as well as dentistry. Some offices are just being hit left and right with, you know, patient care needs. So the next section, we are going to talk a little bit about some of the signs and symptoms of career burnout. And as I go through each of these descriptors, think about 1, if you've experienced it yourself at some point in your career. 2, think about if you've experienced it more than once. And then 3, if you're currently experiencing it. So the first one is when your passion level for anything, let's say dental assisting, is pretty much low to non-existing. Do you have those days? How about Sunday afternoon? Sunday night, you're thinking about Monday in the work week. How many of you guys love Mondays? For me, it depends. If I'm scheduled at the hospital on Mondays, I love Mondays. But if I'm scheduled at the chaotic clinic, it's a little difficult.
That's right.
So anytime, pardon?
I said, that's right. We all have a love-hate relationship with
Yeah.
Mondays, right?
You know, and whether you're chair side, administrative, an educator, we all have those Mondays. So anytime that you start feeling your passion level just kind of waning, maybe it's time to change it up a little bit. You know, if you're strictly clinical, maybe ask to be cross-trained with the administrative aspect of dentistry, or perhaps think about, you know, teaching part-time if there's any openings or opportunities in your area. The next sign of career burnout, you're emotionally flat much of the time. Now, I can tell you, having worked pretty much every single day since March 17th, with the exception of 4 days and Sundays during this pandemic, most mornings I sit on the edge of my bed for about 20 minutes thinking about, do I really want to go to work? And yeah, definitely at that point we're seriously considering, do I still want to be in dental assisting? And then I think on the flip side, what would I do? I love dental assisting. I have dedicated, you know, almost 30 years dental assisting. I see names on the list of attendees tonight that have been in it 40, 50, 60 years. kudos to you guys, and you're still active in your profession. So I think for me, once things kind of get back to a new normal in the dental office, I may have a different outlook on going to work every day and wearing the N95 for 8 to 12 hours a day. So we've all been to that point.
So Natalie,
what you
can I
got to
interrupt
do?
and ask you? Can I ask you a question there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, what makes you get off the edge of your bed and put your shoes on and get your butt out the door? What is it? Is there something that we can all live by, this little ritual? Is it like a kick in the pants? Is it like a promise of a margarita at the end of the day? Or what makes you put your shoes on if you're going through that every day?
Good question.
Good
question. So the first thing is I love hot showers. So it's the hot shower that I'll be taking before getting ready. The second thing is, if I'm working at the clinic, I always swing through McDonald's drive-thru and get my large caramel iced coffee. And sometimes, most days, I get 2 large ones to last through the day. So that is what gets me to the office. And when my coworkers not walk in with one, they wonder, what's going on here? So that's what I do.
So we all have to have our little incentives to be able to do that, right?
Yeah, and for some people, for some people, it's, counting down until quitting time and having maybe a glass of wine when you get home, or, being allowed some downtime to read a book. I was talking with Robin this evening. Since the pandemic, I'm an avid reader. I have not been able to read more than a paragraph most days. Just don't have the time, energy, ambition. So time for a change.
Power, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay,
right. So I'm sorry, I just had to know.
Oh, no, that's actually a great question. So now you guys know I'm a coffeeaholic. Third point, you can and do easily get upset at the littlest things. Think about it. How often does that happen in the workplace? Someone forgot to turn the compressor off from the night before, and you have to deal with it the next morning. Or your supply order didn't come in for whatever reason. Or somebody changed your favorite patient out of your schedule and put him in somebody else's schedule. That can set some of us off. So again, perspective, looking at things differently. Fourth point, despite the hours you're putting in, your productivity is low. I can tell you, for me, this isn't an issue, but for some individuals, some of my coworkers and colleagues, it is an issue. At the work office, if I have downtime, I am doing aging of accounts because I love the administrative aspect of things, reorganizing things. We usually have new staff, not only assistants, but dental therapists, hygienists, and dentists. So it's always sharing some experience with them. Since most of them I've practiced more than they've been alive. So it's kind of fun to do, to teach them new things. The next hour, or the next point, people drain you. How many of you come home from work and you just want alone time? A lot of you?
Yes.
That's what you hope for a long commute.
What if you have, a house full of children, a needy husband or a needy significant other, or you have other obligations? You got to carve some personal time out for yourself in the middle of the day, during your non-existent lunch hour, and most definitely in the evening. Whether it's after dinner, carve out some time before you go to bed. You actually need some me time in order to be a healthy and productive employee. You don't laugh much anymore. And I know some of the people on this call laugh all the time. And some of us are laughing because we're exhausted, correct? Yeah. You gotta find laughter in everyday things. Amen. Laughter keeps us young. Laughter keeps us healthy. Can you imagine life without laughter or a life without smiles? So find something in each day to laugh about. For me, I actually like the white cat smudge, and I look forward to the daily meme that's posted in the smudge group, and that makes me laugh out loud so many times. And oftentimes I'm posting it, and I know other people are laughing too, so my job is done.
I am one of them.
Yeah, Tanaya loves some of the things I post. The next thing, you feel more cynical or jaded than you used to be. Now, a few years back, I actually said to a colleague, you know, I feel more cynical and jaded. And I just thought it was because I was older. And now, after doing a lot of research about career burnout, it's like, maybe at that point I needed to change. And thinking back, at that point I did make a change. I then started to do hospital dentistry, and it's kind of broken up the work week, being at the clinic all the time. Next bullet point, nothing seems to really satisfy you anymore. Think about the things that make you happy. You know, for us dental assistants, going to dental CE courses or dental meetings to see our friends and colleagues. Well, things have changed. How many of you guys get together for Zoom calls or Zoom happy hour? That social connection, very important to keep you interested. You might need to also find a new hobby, something to stimulate your interest. For some people, it's doing crossword puzzles. For me, it's doing a jigsaw puzzle on occasion with a glass of wine or a pot of coffee. But then being as competitive as I am, I have to sit and finish that jigsaw puzzle before I can get anything else done. So it kind of defeats the purpose. Next bullet point, you have a hard time thinking straight or focusing on things for any length of time. This could also describe OCD that a lot of us dental assistants have because we are perfectionists. You know, we need to have all the burrs lined up either by numerical order or by shape or something. Similar to how some people have their scrubs hanging in their closet by color or print or whatever. So, you know, if you're finding you're having a hard time focusing on anything, take a walk or do something for yourself. It's your body and your mind telling you it's time to change. And the last bullet point, rest and time off no longer seems to recharge you. Think about the last time you actually took a vacation that was not dentally related. Can you think of it when it was? You know what it was for me? Prior to going into dentistry.
Holy
Time for
smoly.
vacation. Yeah, time for vacation. Yes, I do. So any combination of these bullet points are signs of being burnt out or progressing to the point where you're burnt out not only as a team member, but perhaps in your career. And so you'll want to look for, if you want to stay in the field, look for different things that you can do. Like I said, become an educator, go from clinical to administrative, mix it up a little bit, perhaps dental sales, dental insurance, that sort of thing. All right, tips to combat career burnout. Knowing your goals, both long-term and short-term. Now, this is something that in recent years I have tried to do every January 1st, sit down and, you know, outline my short-term goals as well as my long-term goals. And then periodically throughout the year, look to see where I am and if I'm making any headway on both the long-term and the short-term goals. You want to become aware of what you truly need to feel fulfilled in your line of work. As dental assistants, some of us can be pretty needy. Even though we are there, we love to help other people, but we ourselves need to be pampered from time to time. So make sure that you are finding the time in your busy schedules to, you know, relax, go for a massage, pedicure, manicure. Take some time for yourself, even if it means walking around the block during your 2-minute lunch hour. Be honest with how ambitious you really are. Some of us, and I can say for myself, sometimes bite off more than we should actually chew. Depending on what's going on in your life, you may just have to step back a little bit and kind of reassess what's going on in your life and make sure that you are putting yourself first. And then society seems to always be encouraging and pushing. You know, go for that next limit, go for that next tier, go for the higher level. And some dental offices are like that also. They're very production based. And depending on what role you play in the office, you are working towards constantly one-upping. All right, many of us can be completely fulfilled and content, as well as decently paid, with less stressful work lives and more work-life balance. Work-life balance is something that many of us struggle with, especially if we have family, kids, schooling, other responsibilities. It's finding that happy medium where we put ourselves first. And acknowledging it is sometimes the biggest deterrent for many of us. Sometimes you may need to consider a change, whether it's leaving your current place of employment and looking for a different type of office, maybe going from a general office to a specialty or vice versa, or going from private practice to public health. Two completely different things. I found my niche in public health. I never thought I would enjoy public health. It was sure eye-opening when I came from a posh private practice to work in public health. I mean, it took me a couple of years to get used to the way things were being done. So, and now I just absolutely thrive on it. Perspective. Burnout is a mental and physical overload. Physical activity could be your lifesaver. Now, I know some of us actually hate jogging. Kudos to those of you that love to do it and can do it. Some of us don't live in the best climates for jogging in the summertime or the wintertime. Thinking about where some of us live. Yeah. But find some other kind of physical activity, even if it's going for long walks or power walking, stick in some earbuds and, walk for 20 minutes. Research reviewed previously published information in the Journal of Occupational Health found that moderately to strong evidence that physical activity can reduce your burnout incidence. So the more physically active you are, the less likelihood you'll experience career or employment burnout. Now, a lot of us are exhausted when we come home from work. It takes a lot of effort to just get out of our work clothes or the clothes that we wear from the office to our homes and to get into our jammies. So, maybe finding a treadmill or something that you can do a little workout at home while you're catching up on the daily news or your favorite show in the evening. And strenuous physical activity once or twice a week has been found to be the most effective buffer against burnout. So those that love to do aerobics, go jogging, or if you're a swimmer, something that is strenuous physically. For some of us, that might be mowing the lawn or weeding the garden, especially if the weeds outnumber the plants in the garden. And then physical activity benefits not only the body, but also the mind, believe it or not. And so does any form of meditation. I am not one that meditates normally. I make the joke that doing yoga is boring because I don't have the patience to do it. And one of the doctors that I recently started with loves to play meditation music in the operatory. And I actually found that it's very calming. So the days that I work with her, we usually end up doing endodontics, and it's great. And I'm at peace. Or turning down the lighting in the operatory too can also help with alleviating some of that stress. So banding together, what do dental assistants like to do?
We like to talk.
We like to socialize. We like to socialize. Yeah, we like to commiserate.
We do.
Those of us that are on any type of dental assisting chat group on Facebook or any other social media platform, what do we like to do? We like to complain. We like to offer advice. We're problem solvers. So, and why do you think we benefit? Not only if we're the one that's doing the arguing or the questioning or the one that's giving the advice. Each individual is benefiting from that interaction. You may learn something that you hadn't thought about. So communication skills are only half the battle in leadership and in life. So if your workplace communication skills are not the greatest, you'll have a little bit of a struggle. And see if you can turn that around to make the atmosphere a little more positive. If we're honest, the real struggle happens inside of our hearts and our souls, because as dental assistants, we love perfection. And then support from a boss or your friends and colleagues or from your professional association can be life-changing, especially when you are facing burnout. And I, for one, can say that ADAA has helped me at various times through my career when I have thought maybe it's time to step and walk away from dental assisting. So hopefully some of these tips and tidbits will help those of you that are maybe experiencing job burnout or career burnout. Maybe you didn't realize that's what you're experiencing. And so if you're having a difficult time getting off the edge of the bed in the morning, indulge a little, even if it is stopping by Starbucks for your coffee or your iced tea. So thanks for paying attention, everyone.
Oh, that was awesome. I got some really good tips, and I'm thinking about that. My personal stress reliever is power tools. So I love the saying something, right? You're just sanding and you're doing that stuff. So whatever it is, like a power tool is a girl's best friend. I'm not going to lie, right? So that's really good advice, Natalie. I appreciate that. And I know, like, I've been in dentistry myself. I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud in front of God and everybody, but I'm coming up at 39 years. And so I think back to that. I'm like, now my daughter's 40. Oh, my goodness. Almost 40 years, right? Where did the time go? I can't believe it. But during all that time, I have also been through that. Like, so I had some time where I didn't like teeth. So I would learn something new, right? I learned some great management skills and some customer service skills and stuff. So I think sometimes you might have to learn something different. And a lot of times too, we forget that within our dental offices, we do have a chance to grow without leaving the profession, right? And like Natalie said, to find something in the office that maybe challenges you. If you're a dental assistant, we don't like to talk money, right? Jump in there and start learning about insurance. Start learning about how financing plans go. That stuff will challenge you like nobody's business, right? Mm-hmm. So then your mind is active. You are starting to learn. So that's just my little tidbit. So we are past our time, but do you guys have any final thoughts, like anything final that you want to put out there for our listeners and our attendees that are hanging out with us for a little bit past our time here? Tell us what you think. Any final thoughts?
Sorry, I love to talk.
Me too. Can you tell?
That's fine. I would like to say I thank Natalie for bringing up burnout and the cell phone. And I also want to add health. I had a kind of this year, a lot of health scares. So also please look after yourself. Just get yourself checked out. You invest.
Nobody else will, so you need to take care of yourself. Yeah.
Absolutely. You just invest so much time into patients, your doctor, you care for everyone, your home life, your children. It's, and you forget about yourself. And I've done that this year, and I've had quite a few scares, and now I'm on top of things like you can't believe. And vacation, again, a very good poignant point. It's very important to take some time out. I agree.
Yep. It is. It's very important. And like your teeth cleaning, guys. When's the last time you got your teeth cleaned? I'm just saying, right? Just saying. Take care of ourselves.
Right, exactly.
We're all trying to think now, when was the last time I had my cleaning done, right?
I'm looking forward to my coffee in the morning.
Oh, I know you are, right? I can picture it now. You're sitting on your bed and you just got visions of ice mocha lattes. That's awesome. Any other final words, you guys?
YouTube has great aerobic and Zumba and yoga videos. Absolutely wonderful, free. And you can do it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. They have like yoga before bed, yoga after you get up in the morning. It's pretty cool. Yoga with Adrian, that's the one I use. Love it.
Oh, that name sounds like a magazine cover kind of guy, right? Ooh, there you go.
I'll do any exercise as long as
it's free.
Yeah, the word was free. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you so, so much. Don't forget to go back up in the chat and get those links for our legislation that we're trying to get passed. So go copy those links and then go over and fill out those forms for us and help us. And I want to thank you for joining us. We're going to do this again. I'm putting it out there in the air. So I did this last time. I said, we're coming back. Here we are. So I'm so excited, right? So we're going to come back again at our next town hall meeting and just invite everybody, because this is open for whoever wants to join us. So please join us, because if once people know what we're going on, and tell Sarah's daughter, hey, she's such a cutie pie, right? She's such a cutie pie. But just join us. Bring your kids, bring the popcorn, come on over, and we will see you again. Thanks, everybody. You have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.